everyone, and welcome to this SETI Talks, which is part of the programs We EP Workers and the European Parliament. We want to bring to the attention of workers and citizens the actions of the European Parliament, especially in this difficult time where we need to be more resilient. We need to actually get out of the pandemic, and we need to think about the challenges of the futures. Today we have MEP Mrs. Radka Maxová. Thank you for being here.
Nice to meet you, and thank you for your invitation.
So, Mrs. Maxová, we know that the environmental issues have been tackled during the past decades, but especially now, we know that we're facing unprecedented environmental, climate, and sustainability challenges. And these include biodiversity loss, climate change, resources use, and pollution. Can you tell us maybe a little bit more about the General Union Environmental Action Program for the 2030, and what are the main objectives of the action program?
Yes, I can. The Generation Union Environment Action Program to 2030 builds on the European Green Deal and set the direction for EU environmental and climate policy action for the next 10 years. The main objective is to strengthen the previous program and accelerate the EU's transition to a climate neutral and resource efficient, clean and circular economy in a just and inclusive way. The new program has 6 thematic priority objectives, and to achieve these, it contains a monitoring framework to measure the EU's and member states' progress on the implementation on the program's objectives. The 6th thematic priority objective of the program concern greenhouse gas emissions reductions, adaptation to climate change, a growth model that gives back to the planet more than it takes, zero pollution ambition, protecting and restoring biodiversity, and reducing key environmental and climate pressures related to production and consumption. I think that the program is ambitious, as well as social responsible. It is very important.
Absolutely.
We are facing unprecedented environmental, climate, and sustainability challenges, which we can observe all around us. For example, this summer, when many of the European regions were hit by extreme heat waves. It is therefore crucial to enhance our adaptive capacity and strengthen our resilience in order to be less vulnerable. Additionally, we are facing, for example, the threat of biodiversity loss, lack of resources, pollution, and so we really need to tackle the environmental issue head-on.
Absolutely. And what are the policy areas that are covered by the program?
The program is comprehensive, so there are many policy areas covered, from air and chemicals, through industry and marine environment, to waste and noise. One of the main objectives is circular economy in order to boost green growth and resource efficiency. This transition will allow us to ensure sustainable development, reduce emissions, and generate less waste. We will concentrate on sectors that use the most resources and where the potential for circularity is high. An example here is the plastic industry, which significantly contributes to pollution and marine litter. Vehicles and batteries, textiles or electronics, and ICT are other examples. The protection of nature and biodiversity is another policy area covered by the program. The EU also promotes the sustainable use of soil and land in order to prevent land degradation and soil erosion. In the cities, the program concentrates on sustainable and green initiatives, noise pollution reduction and regulation, and improvement of air quality. The EU also aims to ensure access to good quality drinking and bathing water and regulates use of chemicals to protect human health and environment.
Thank you. And as you mentioned before also, yet again, this year has been a summer of fires. And do you think that the EU is doing enough for the protection of the environment, or what is there more that could be done in the future?
The latest report of Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change presented further evidence that climate change is caused by humans and that many of the changes might be irreversible. While nature and planet itself will always be able to deal with the shift of the climate, the same cannot be said for people. It is our responsibility to protect human well-being and health for the next generation, and it encouraging to see that the majority of the European Parliament agrees and is committed to creating and promoting legislation addressing this challenge. At the same time, we have to remember that the national governments of EU member states share this responsibility. The most important task now is to concentrate on implementing legislation effectively and comprehensively.
Absolutely. I think the bottom line is that we each have individually and collectively a responsibility to the environment that we live in. We need to protect it and respect it. So thank you very much for this interview. Thank you for being with us, and we hope that we can maybe chat again in the future in another interview. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your invitation. Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.